Bowl 55. Obviously, we all know that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were able to win Super Bowl 55 over the defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. The final score of the game was 31-9. And my biggest takeaway from the Super Bowl, in which the Buccaneers won and the Chiefs flat out laid an egg. They laid down. They got punched in the mouth. They were punked. They were bamboozled. They were kicked to the ground. The Kansas City Chiefs really disappointed in Super Bowl 55. And my biggest takeaway from this game was Patrick Mahomes flat out choked in this game. Patrick Mahomes came up small when it mattered most in the Super Bowl. Let me be very clear. Is this loss solely on Patrick Mahomes? No, it's not. There are a whole lot of factors that went into the Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning this game. And by the way, I predicted the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were going to win the Super Bowl all the way back in September. You guys can go check the tape, okay? But either way, I'm tired of people, walking on eggshells, trying to, tiptoe around the fact that Patrick Mahomes played a very, very poor game in the Super Bowl. They're walking on eggshells. They're saying, I'm scared to criticize Patrick Mahomes. We can blame the offensive line. We should blame Andy Reid. No, Patrick Mahomes in this game, he choked. He played very poorly in Super Bowl 55 versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The score was 31-9, people. There's no excuses for Patrick Mahomes by his lofty standards to not score a touchdown in the biggest game of the season. You lose 31-9 in the Super Bowl. Look, I get it. If Patrick Mahomes goes out there, throws for 350 yards and about 3 touchdowns, and loses in stunning fashion to Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that's not a choke job, okay? That's not. That's just losing in a valiant effort to a team that pretty much, in my opinion, was about even as far as, between the talent of Kansas City and Tampa Bay, okay? But, folks, this was not a close game. This was a blowout. And Patrick Mahomes, in this game, he completed 53% of his passes, only threw for 270 yards, 70 yards passing. And by the way, a lot of those yards were in garbage time. He was padding his stats late in the game. He threw 2 interceptions. He scored no touchdowns. And his passer rating in the game was 52.3. Here's the thing. At this moment in time, I consider Patrick Mahomes to be an elite quarterback. And right now, to this day, despite Patrick Mahomes getting blown out in Super Bowl 55, I still consider Patrick Mahomes an elite thrower of the football. He is still arguably the best quarterback in the NFL as I speak today. And we are a year removed from him winning a Super Bowl versus a very good 49ers team. Let's not forget that. I will be shocked if Patrick Mahomes doesn't get back to another Super Bowl, and I'll be shocked if Patrick Mahomes doesn't at least win another Super Bowl in his career. But see, when you're the best quarterback in the sport, and when you just sign the biggest contract in NFL history from a salary standpoint, and you show up and play this poorly in the biggest game of the season, why should I give you a pass? People are out there giving Patrick Mahomes, excuses and passes for his incomplete passes. They're saying, did you see that throw that Patrick Mahomes made? Was it complete or not, people? We're talking about the sidearm throws, him running around and whatnot. It did not lead to results, people. Patrick Mahomes has Tyreek Hill. He has Travis Kelce. He's got Mecole Hardman. He's got, Sammy Watkins, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Andy Reid is his play caller. He's got A-plus weapons, good running backs, a great play caller. And Patrick Mahomes, he came up small when it mattered most. I understand the offensive line was not great for the Chiefs. They really let Patrick Mahomes down in certain moments. But guess what, people? This is the first time in Patrick Mahomes' career that he's had to deal with a ton of crap. Patrick Mahomes, welcome to Deshaun Watson's world. A couple of years ago, when Deshaun Watson was sacked 62 times in the regular season. Welcome to Russell Wilson's world. Russell Wilson has been running for his life for the past 5 years. Welcome to Joe Burrow's world. Patrick Mahomes, where he's running for his life behind a terrible offensive line. Welcome to Justin Herbert's world, Patrick Mahomes, who had to deal with a bunch of crap and chaos with the Chargers this past year. Welcome to Aaron Rodgers' world from the NFC Championship game about a week ago. Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers faced the same defense, in the playoffs, and Aaron Rodgers was able to actually give Green Bay a chance to win despite them falling down double digits early in that game. Lamar Jackson, he was running for his life in the playoffs, and he doesn't have nearly the weapons that Patrick Mahomes had. Even Kyler Murray, in his rookie season, he had to deal with a ton of crap. Patrick Mahomes, from the day he's gotten to the NFL, has been given a silver spoon with great weapons, great play calling, pretty good offensive line when healthy, and he's taken those things and ran with them. But the minute Patrick Mahomes didn't have the support from Andy Reid and his game plan and his schemes, the minute the offensive line couldn't block, the minute the wide receivers made him face a little bit of adversity due to the fact that they dropped a couple of passes, Patrick Mahomes, you know what he did? He folded like a tent. And that's what I've been saying about Patrick Mahomes, over the past, couple of months. Okay, I recognize he's an all-time great talent. However, the gap between him and the rest of the quarterbacks in the entire NFL is not as wide as you people think. I think that Patrick Mahomes' supporting cast did not get the recognition that they deserved for the most part ever since he's gotten into the NFL. Okay, I recognize that supporting cast has been off the charts. And what do you know? The minute they're not spectacular, Patrick Mahomes can't bail them out. And so I think that people anointed Patrick Mahomes a little bit too early. I'm not trying to crucify Patrick Mahomes and say he's overrated, that he's a bad player now. No, I'm not going to be one of those people. But folks were literally saying the Super Bowl is going to be between Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes. This is the equivalent of Michael Jordan versus LeBron James. Folks, are you kidding me? Do you know how many all-time great quarterbacks have ran through the NFL and have made the same throws that Patrick Mahomes is making right now? Listen, Patrick Mahomes is an all-time great talent, but this idea that he's already in the GOAT conversation, that he's anointed to be potentially an all-time great already, look, if he would have won the Super Bowl versus Tampa Bay and Tom Brady, then I maybe could buy in, but he's barely had a cup of coffee in the NFL. And by the way, he's doing really good in the NFL, He's taken over. He's dominated. But I've always said, let's pump the brakes on Patrick Mahomes a little bit. Let's see what he does, 10 years from now, 15 years from now. Let's see if he can sustain success. Let's see if he can overcome some things when his offensive line isn't blocking for him. Let's see if he can overcome some wide receivers dropping passes in big games. And he failed that test, people. So, look, I'm not trying to, poo-poo Patrick Mahomes too much, but I got to call it like I see it. And Patrick Mahomes, even last year, he was not good in the Super Bowl last year for the most part versus the 49ers. But you want to know why he was able to win that Super Bowl? He was able to win that Super Bowl because the defense actually was able to keep him in that game for the most part. And Jimmy Garoppolo made a bunch of mistakes. And in the end, Patrick Mahomes, he took those mistakes and ran with them in the fourth quarter and ultimately won the Super Bowl, and he deserves a ton of credit. But we've seen Patrick Mahomes be an all-time great in the regular season. But in 2 Super Bowls, he's got 2 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. So when it's mattered the most in the biggest game of the season, Patrick Mahomes has been a lesser version of himself. So I definitely got to ding Patrick Mahomes a couple of points for that. Not saying Patrick Mahomes is overrated. Not saying that he can't get back to another Super Bowl and potentially win another Super Bowl. But I got to call it like I see it, people. And another thing to point out and think about. Are we sure that Patrick Mahomes will be the same quarterback if he landed in Chicago? Or if he landed with the dysfunctional New York Jets? It's something to think about because everyone talks about how Patrick Mahomes is so great. He can elevate any roster. He can make any throw. But we also fail to realize that Patrick Mahomes landed in an all-time great situation with the Kansas City Chiefs. He inherited a playoff team that made the playoffs the year before he got there. He inherited Andy Reid, an elite head coach, A-plus weapons, good running backs, a solid offensive line. A really good team, a really good situation, an all-time great situation. It was set up for Patrick Mahomes. Let me just put it to you this way. If Patrick Mahomes failed in that situation, then he's just a scrub, okay? Because it was almost nearly impossible for Patrick Mahomes to fail in that situation. I'm not saying that it was it was made for him to become the best quarterback in the sport, but it was nearly impossible for Patrick Mahomes to fail based on the team that he landed with and based on the support that he was given. So that's how I feel about Patrick Mahomes and his performance in Super Bowl 55. He's still a great quarterback. He still has a chance to become an all-time great quarterback one day. But we must recognize that Patrick Mahomes, he flat out choked in Super Bowl 55 versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the Juice Alert Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big-time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the Juice Alert Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God bless day, and I'm out.